But that doesn't matter. Their last 2 games here were overtime classics. So come all ye faithful, come one and all. It's Larry's 12 Days of Christmas, and we're having a ball.
And there's the move from Bryce. How many times have we seen that from the superstar? There's the crossover. There's the pull-up. There is another triple.
Daniel's pass, gets out, he's involved, and he throws it down. Well, Christmas Eve in Adelaide has become a festive tradition. We are the only city to host an NBL game the night before Santa arrives. The first was back in 2017 when Cairns won here by 19 points, which remains their biggest ever win in SA. Season's greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Ignite Cup presented by Disney+. I'm John Casey, and joining me in commentary is 1990 NBL MVP Derek Rucker. It's first against last on the regular season ladder, Derek, but this is going to be closer than that might suggest.
Well, Cairns, they're due for a big game on the road as we look at the Ignite Cup ladder, and the Adelaide 36ers, they've got a chance. If they can get all 7 points here, they will bump up right into second place and give themselves an outstanding chance of showing up on the Gold Coast. And while the Taipans, they haven't gotten off the mark yet, but Case, they're dangerous. And with Jack McVay in the form that he is, they can beat anybody, anywhere.
Exactly right, and that's proven over the last month where they're 2-2 and top 3 in the league in field goal shooting and three-point shooting as well. But of course, Bryce Cotton is the man who's been dominating them, and he's done it this season as well. 28 in round 3, 53 in round 5, and then 41 in round 9 when they last met here. He's averaged 34 a game against them over the last 10 appearances. Extraordinary.
In case we know what the historical numbers look like when Bryce is coming off a subpar game. He had 16 points and 7 assists on 6 of 18 shooting against Illawarra. This season, he's averaging 26, so the Taipans need to beware. Bryce is deadly. He's playing an outstanding form of point guard this year, more of a scoring point guard than we've seen in the past. And obviously, he can get out on the break and make things happen from his defensive activity.
Yep, and of course, he's hit 64 threes to lead the competition as well. So providing, but also executing himself. And speaking of that, well, Jack McVay, who started his career here in Adelaide in 2018 as an Adelaide 36er, well, what a show he's put on in the last month as well. 47 against New Zealand last Friday night. It was an incredible effort.
It was great, and one of the best performances we've seen in a number of years. And that includes some great individual performances by McVay himself when he was down in Tasmania. But look, now that the Taipans have their full roster just about, McVay has the chance to show what he can do within the team structure and that he can lead the Taipans to victories. And look at that weekend. Look, Sydney, we can forgive him for that. When you come off of 47, sometimes you're a bit flat trying to back it up, and the Kings were vicious. They really held him down to 11 points. But look at his shooting. He was still sharp from the field.
One of the real success stories for Adelaide this season alongside Bryce Cotton has been the tandem with Isaac Humphries. And look, he has become the best 1-2 punch in the competition with a pick and roll with Bryce Cotton. And he's having a career best season and taken on a leadership role, and he's really embraced that. And he's really matured as a player. I think he's playing not only physically better, but mentally he's much better this season.
He looks comfortable. He looks happy with the imports. It looks like he understands what's required of him. And right now, Case, I've got him as one of my picks in that all-NBL first team. He's right there. He's battling probably with his teammate Zylan Cheatham for a spot in there. But right now, Humphries has been great. And if he can continue in this fashion, he gives them a piece that is hard for other teams to contain.
Season high 4 assists for Isaac Humphries, along with those 16 points and 6 boards at Illawarra as well. The starting 5, well, Mike Wells has changed the lineup again. He started with Troy Brown Jr. and the regular 4 on Wednesday night last week in Sydney. He brought in Matt Kenyon when they played Illawarra on Saturday. Now he's gone back to Troy Brown Jr. And Troy Brown just hasn't produced the numbers we were expecting as yet.
No, he hasn't, and he's a guy, when you bring him in, you expect good defense, but what he was known for was scoring the basketball and being able to shoot it, and that hasn't quite occurred yet. Look, I haven't given up on his prospects for this season, but I'm certainly scrutinizing him very closely.
And for the Cairns Taipans, this is the same five that started in the loss to Sydney. Mojave King, Andrew Andrews, Sam Wardenberg, Kyron Galloway, and of course, Jack McVeigh. Andrew Andrews has played extremely well against Adelaide in all 3 games, and he is certainly a player to watch tonight at the Ignite Cup. Adelaide in the Ignite Cup 1-1. They've got this game and a game to come against Brisbane, and the Taipans 0-1 in the Ignite Cup. Referee Bianca Vernon has the honour of starting the game in her NBL debut as well. We'll discuss that a little later. It's Adelaide working to the right of your screen who have controlled the tip here. And we'll look to open scoring. They run it through sets of hands and get it to the main man, Cotton. Double team. They did a good job. Took it out of away from him. And a chance for the Taipans here.
Nice defensive start there by Mojave King. Gets his hand on that pass from Cotton, creating a turnover.
Wardenberg for McVeigh, guarded by Flynn Cameron. A mismatch there in terms of height. Here's Andrews, single digits on the shot clock, feeds the corner. Galloway fires, can't get it done. Wardenberg's tip in wouldn't work either. Cheatham for Cameron. Really blossoming as a player with extra minutes and extra opportunities here in Adelaide. After crossing from Melbourne. Cotton gets it from Humphreys, attracted plenty of attention there. Whistle on the play as well. First foul of the game is going to be called on Mojave King.
So in their last game against Illawarra, I thought Illawarra did a good job with their defensive scheme, and they caused a lot of problems for the Adelaide 36ers in the 4th quarter in particular, where Adelaide didn't seem to have any real consistent perimeter threat, and they had overloaded on Cotton, made things tough on the Sixers offense.
Cameron thought about shooting and elected to pull the trigger, but came up empty. Mojave King will bring the Taipans forward. In Adelaide since Monday, the Taipans coming here straight after the loss in Sydney, which was their heaviest defeat of the season by 42 points. Here's McVeigh, open scoring against Adelaide when they played here in round 9, but can't get that to fit.
Hey, Pete and Dame, what's up? Hey, these guys look like they got into the Christmas turkey early.
Well, they do, coming out slow, and again, I think that was Bryce Cotton. Bryce Cotton had 2 floaters to start the game. He's normally actually a little bit passive to begin games, trying to get everybody else going. But this crowd is a little bit flat too. It's Christmas Eve. Where are the buckets?
Well, it's a sellout crowd.
Hello.
And there is the first bucket of the game as Wardenberg throws it down.
And Case, Wardenberg has been impressive considering how long he was out. His return has been good. He's averaging 25 minutes a game, getting 11 points, 6 boards.
Top 10 in assists as well in his short stint back after that ankle injury suffered in the preseason. Here's Flynn Cameron exploring, opened the door for Humphreys, and he gets scoring underway for Adelaide.
Now, if Mike Wells doesn't see a lift in kind of the pop, he might be willing to go to Rakocevic a little bit earlier.
McVeigh hands it up, Wardenberg. Shares it. McVeigh gets it now from King. Red numbers on the shot clock. He's going to have to fire this up here. Wardenberg, and he peels off the triple.
I just mentioned it. He's looked good in his return, and, you know, that's an admirable effort by Wardenberg to come in mid-stroke through the season and be able to play at this level already as Cameron gets to work.
Ran out of real estate, goes to Humphreys, who muscles in from close range, and Wardenberg held him at bay. When you consider these teams played overtime just 5 weeks ago and the Cairns were without Wardenberg, that straight away puts them into the conversation here for an upset win that Damon Lowry was predicting pre-game. Single digits on the shot clock here. Wardenberg drew a foul on Cameron and earns a trip.
We look at the Amy replay here, and Wardenberg does a good job. Get Cotton down in the block, and that's easy. And right there, I didn't really think that the Sixers needed to double when McVeigh had it on Troy Brown Jr., but it created that good look for Wardenberg. And if I go to my man Damon, Andrew Andrews knocks down that jumper. Damon, it's the holiday spirit, and you're looking semi-prophetic.
Hey, Sam Wardenberg, man, is a major problem. We forget how good this dude is.
Right.
Man. 6'10", can put the ball on the floor. He's shooting step-back threes. This is a different Cairns type.
Oh,
get it out!
Give me that.
Great job from McVeigh. Cotton, though, he's off the mark again. So Adelaide have started the game here, 1 of 5 from the field.
And Case, you've seen decades of these games, and sometimes teams come out at different times of the season, especially at special occasions like this, as Galloway gets to the rack, and they can be tight.
in truth, and that's why I queried Bryce Cotton pre-game about playing around Christmas time as we get another look at Jack McVeigh's excellent defensive work. Whether or not for the Christmas period, things are different. The vibe is a little different. The attitude can be a little bit different. And the challenges are there for these teams to be switched on when everyone else is switched off and in holiday mode.
Well, speaking of switching, Case, the Adelaide 36ers seem to be switching almost everything down that end. And it's a bold strategy because Sam Wardenberg's had a mismatch a couple of times. It's great to see him back. And now Mike Wells has said, let's go with the double big lineup, Rakocevic and Humphries. See if we can have some success there.
Trap game.
Yep. Well, I told you that he was going to make the Rakocevic move early if he didn't see a lift in the energy and the spirit. Bryce is open.
Totten penetrates now, gets down low and off glass, opens his scoring account.
And we might see Bryce go out of that point guard mode and go into full-on flamethrower here. Good patience from the Taipans.
On the front of the rim, Wardenberg. So the Taipans were second in the competition the last month from deep. 1 of 3 to start, but they lead it by 4 here. Cameron. Bounce pass for Rakocevic, who takes them on, gets it done, draws a foul.
And that's what I'm talking about. He's going to bring some fire. That fire can also work against the Sixers from time to time. But by and large, over the course of the season, this guy's going to play a major factor in the success of the Sixers. Dame, I know you like that energy.
I'm loving Nick Rakocevic, man. He had a double last game in limited minutes. He for real.
Of course, the Ignite Cup presented by Disney Plus headed to the Gold Coast. Scan the QR code there on the right of your screen. $400,000 up for grabs, 60% going to the players, or maybe a little more. And you can get your tickets at Ticketek as well. So Feb 22 is when you need to be involved. Great time to be on the Gold Coast, or any time is. Middle stage of the opening quarter here. Taipans by 3.
And it doesn't look like the Taipans are at all intimidated by the moment. Remember, Case, Brisbane went into Adelaide last season as Humphries attacks the rim. Tipping by Rakocevic, but just a year ago, Case, it was the Brisbane Bullets who went into the Adelaide Entertainment Center and pulled off a big upset.
He's
penetrating outside. Mohammed King knocks down the 3.
Okay.
3 is better than 2, Ruck. We know that.
Yeah, Pete.
Okay. Ben Simmons flashbacks there.
13-9, 4 and a bit minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Vasiljevic onto the floor, and a whistle off the ball here. Foul is going to be called on Jack McVeigh. It's a 3rd team foul on Cairns in this opening quarter, and Adam Ford is getting a behaviour warning here from referee James Griggle.
Great pass there by Vasiljevic, lays it down perfectly, and Humphries tried to throw a few of the snakes in the cup. And Rakocevic, good timing, cleans it up. Great start by the Taipans. And we've already seen a couple of weird results this week already, Case. New Zealand going down up in Brisbane. No one saw that happening. And then last night, Tasmania absolutely demolishing Melbourne United.
Are outstanding. And of course, Melbourne United, since the FIBA break, have lost 5 out of 6. And they've got alarm bells starting to ring there.
Well, that was a very Adelaide-centric and focused comment from you, Case. We know what your bias is. Little gap creating between the Sixers and Melbourne United. Now, actually, Southeast Melbourne have jumped into 2nd place.
Yep, 2 games clear at the top of the ladder, Adelaide. This is their best season since 2018 when they made the grand final against Melbourne. We're inside 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter, and Wardenberg swinging off the rim again. They lead by 6.
Case, I'm happy for you to keep talking about that 2018 grand final as much as you want, mate.
Great memories for you, Pete, and what a series it was. Here's Isaac White, shakes Andrews, kicks to the corner. Kenyon fires, and he peels off the much-needed 3. Adelaide's first of the game.
And that's what Kenyon's got to do. He doesn't obviously have to shoot them at a high percentage. He just got to make enough of them to stretch the defense.
Cairns going to work when they're shut down. Great defensive work from Rakocevic. White at the other end, takes on multiple defenders and opens his scoring account.
Timely block shot there leads to a run out for Isaac White. Crafty around the hoop.
Plenty happening off the ball here between Marcus Lee and Vasiljevic, who's in a world of pain with a mismatch. McVeigh's three off the mark, and here's Marcus Lee. Seeing a game down low. Bounce going to be called on DJ Vasiljevic. It's his first.
Oh, there's problems out there, Derek. All of a sudden, Cairns Taipans are a gigantic team. Was that DJ Vasiljevic guarding Marcus Lee? They have to double team, and when they kick it out, man, there's no real small guys on the floor for the Taipans.
Pocket pass. Wardenberg picked off by Rakocevic, and now a chance for Isaac White. Nothing on offer straight away, so he resets. Under 3 minutes left in this opening quarter, and these teams played here 5 weeks ago. Cairns were on top at quarter time by a point as Kenyon gets back-to-back triples to fall, and we've had enough. Adam Ford and calls timeout here. 2:40 to play in the opening quarter, and Adelaide are in front for the first time.
And that's kind of what Adam Ford is willing to give up. Matt Kenyon corner threes, but when he knocks 2 of them down, it really tests your resolve and the confidence in your game plan.
Kenyon 5 of 21 from deep at 24% coming into this game. Back-to-back threes from him. And Adelaide have scored the last 8 points here and opened up a nice advantage for the first time as we go to Kelsey Brown.
Watching this game alongside Damon Lowry is a journey. Let's just say that you are up in arms with the Cairns Taipans to start this game. You're impressed?
I am impressed. They got so much size. There's mismatches, Pete, that they can create on every single possession. Adelaide 36 has always got 2 small guards on the floor. It's either Bryson Isaac, Bryson DJ, or they got a lot of mismatches. Hopefully, Cairns can continue on with this.
And I honestly think Forty's probably sitting there right now and thinking, hey, guys, I know they've just got back in it with 2 threes, but it's been Matt Kenyon. Can Matt Kenyon hit 2 every quarter? Probably not. History would tell us no, so stay the course. The way we've started has been great, and no surprise, it's been a lot of Sam Wardenberg. He is featured heavily in that as Schofield checks in, and we'll see what he can deliver now for the Taipans.
Is that the evolution of Matt Kenyon's game as well? He wasn't knocking those down.
He needs to be. We know he's a great defender and he's a great energy player, but teams will leave him open on purpose.
So Wardenberg, 7 on 3 of 4 from the field. Rebound and assist as well. It's been a great start from him.
In case I like the game plan on the offensive end from the Cairns Taipans, and just keep punching the ball, getting the ball to your guy. I also think Adam Ford, over the course of this season, has learned how to use Jack McVeigh better within the team scheme.
And Pete and Damon, as 3-point specialists yourself, we've seen in the last month, Adelaide has taken the fewest threes of any team, and really almost like DJ Vasiljevic's surplus to requirements at the moment. Has that been by design? Has that been by what they've been presented with? Why are Adelaide shooting the least threes of anyone over the last month?
Well, I'm going to just answer the question, Case. I'm going to ignore the backhand. A little joke at the start. But I think it is just a product of how they played. As we get a replay here of the offensive foul. Oh, geez, not a heap in that, but I think it is the product of understanding the ball screen. I think it's just trusting Bryce Cotton, really. Let Bryce Cotton do his thing. Isaac Humphries has been moving well. Vasiljevic has been in and out of the rotation in terms of what he can deliver. Cheatham can't stretch the floor. As we say that, he's going to come in and hit one right there. So, well played from you, Case.
DJ is the only real shooter, 3-point shooter. Isaac White will shoot. That doesn't mean he's a shooter, not a shooting a great percentage. So oftentimes 36ers have a lot of non-shooters on the floor.
And while you say that, Damon, look, the reality is in advanced stats, Adelaide are the best shooting team in the league, considering free throws as well, as Drew Andrews comes back and knocks down a deep one. Now, look, this guy, he's electric. When he gets it going, he can turn a game quickly.
That snapped the run of 11 unanswered points from Adelaide. Kenyon off to the races, can't convert. And the 3 from Vasiljevic makes it 40 straight games nailing a triple, which is the best in the competition at the moment. Lee just mishandled the pass, goes back to work, tried to keep it alive. Now a whistle on the play as well, and free throws to come.
Well, 2 things on that penetration. One, Drew Andrews didn't attack space. Always attack space. He could have gotten to the front of the rim. And then when he didn't, when he went hostage dribble, he didn't throw it up high enough for Marcus Lee to let Marcus Lee catch that thing and yam it.
Throw it. We saw Marcus Lee was the dunk of the round last week. Throw it anywhere above the backboard. The guy can tie his shoelaces without bending over. He's got a ridiculous wingspan.
And Derek, I don't think Mike Wells can at any stage afford to go 3-guard offenses any stage. He likes to go Flynn, Cameron, Bryce, and DJ or Isaac White. 3 out of those 4. The Cairns Taipans has one small guy on the team.
Christmas
and that's
burgers.
Andrew Andrews, and he's not that small.
Christmas burgers.
Oh, you know, side pocket and in.
2 of 4 from the stripe Cairns. Adelaide 1 of 1 so far. It's a 1-point game, a little over a minute out from quarter time. Troy Brown, top of the key, hands over to Vasiljevic, guarded closely by Andrews. Taipans with 14 fouls, so need to take that into consideration. But he muscles his way into an opening. Vasiljevic can't convert.
In case Troy Brown Jr. has played 4 minutes and he has no stats.
They need more production from him if they're going to be
Give me a turnover,
champions.
Case. Give me anything.
Inside 10 seconds on the shot clock. McVeigh wheeling and dealing down low, adds to his tally. He's got 4, and the margin is back in favor of Cairns.
And guys, so much of this league is about who you play. We saw it last night. Tasmania are a bad matchup for Melbourne United, and it's looking like this evening the Taipans are asking a lot of questions of the Sixers.
Hey, I keep asking this, and again, that Ignite Cup game, even the Illawarra game a little bit for Adelaide, when teams start to get after Bryce like they're trying to do now, who is their secondary playmaker?
I think it's Flynn Cameron.
I think it's going to have to be, because Troy Brown Jr., as you said, is just not delivering right now. And sometimes you just don't need it.
Well, or either Bryce, again, just says, I've got to go. I've got to increase my usage, and I have to live with the fact that the degree of difficulty of some of my shots may increase.
Bit happening off the ball here between Rakocevic and Marcus Lee. Whistle seems inevitable. Shot clock to 10, 5 inside the game clock. Points up for grabs here in the Ignite Cup. Forever leads at quarter time. Now Andrews has painted himself into a corner and he can't get out of it. Adelaide are going to win the quarter. Question is by how much, and that's a foul, and now there's free throws with Cairns over the limit.
Silly foul there, no need. Just get on the guy's hip and make him make a really difficult shot from the 3. Look here, Schofield, just a poor basketball decision.
Well, it actually could potentially not be the silliest thing from Cairns in terms of the Ignite Cup. If he gives one here and they hit a heave, all of a sudden they get the first point.
You're alive.
There is a big chance here. I don't think it'll happen, but hey, stranger things have happened in the NBL.
73% free throw shooter this season. Cheatham makes the back end.
Well, let's see if they're aware.
2-point buffer. They get it to McVeigh, back to Andrews. They're not interested. That is after the event. So Adelaide get the first point at quarter time with the Ignite Cup. They lead at 23-21 in front of a sellout crowd here on a Wednesday night, enjoying Christmas Eve in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
We are back with the Hungry Jacks NBL. It's Ignite Cup Wednesday night. We absolutely love them, and the Adelaide 36ers are turning it on at home. A reminder for those that every quarter you win, gets you a point. And the Adelaide 36ers start this one off. They are 23, plays 21, Damon. And a reminder that by the end of this game, if they extract the maximum amount of points in this Ignite Cup game, they can finish second.
Hey, look, they had a chance, though, the Cairns Taipans, and they just kind of, I guess they forgot. They caught up in the NBL season, and they forgetting about the Ignite Cup season. Out of call the timeout, Pete got a shot up.
Pete, I'm interested, though. Troy Brown Jr. starts the start of this second quarter, and what do you want to see from him? We haven't seen much.
Oh, right now, anything. And again, Ruck made the joke of that looked like a lob there from Bryce. I'll give it to him. Ruck said even a turnover, because at least that would show you being aggressive. They need more from Troy Brown Jr.
30 seconds done in the second quarter, and a technical foul has now been assessed to the coach, Adam Ford. He was given a warning in the opening quarter. And obviously just outstayed his welcome for James Griggle, the referee, who's working this game with Michael Aylan and, as I mentioned, Bianca Vernon. So Adelaide get to open scoring in this term.
Lots of speculation yesterday around the tech foul that was called on Scott Roth that actually ended up being a bench tech foul, and we got clarification from Scott Butler in the replay centre just before. It is 3 on a bench, Pete.
3 on a bench without a coach tech would have seen Scott Roth have an early shower, or 1 for Scott Roth, which he had good block there from Isaac Humphries, then 2 bench techs. So 3 accumulated. A lot of people thought that bench tech should have seen Scott Roth in an early shower, so there's a bit of clarification.
Cotton worked to an opening, can't finish it though. Adelaide 3 of 8 from long range. Here's Flynn Cameron showing McVeigh some tricks, gets down low, rattles around the rim, and Cameron comes up with his first score.
Now Cairns got off to a good start in that first quarter, but they've lost their sense of purpose in the past 2 or 3 minutes, and they need to find it quickly because Ortenberg lets one fly. When you're playing against a highly talented team against Adelaide, that window, that chance to win the basketball game can snap shut quickly.
Brown picks up the dribble, bounce pass, Cheatham turns with a smaller opponent on his back. It's slipped away from the cylinder. Great defensive play there from Kyron Galloway. 90 seconds played, term number 2.
There it is.
And Wartenberg down low adds to his tally. He's got 9 to lead the game.
And for all the young bigs out there, did you see what Sam Wartenberg did on that high-low pass? He didn't bring it down, just went straight up because Bryce Cotton was trying to get underneath that really quickly and snatch it out of his hands.
And also an old-school pin and seal, Damon. High pass over the top. You'd have loved that.
Thank you very much, man. Bring back some of that from the old-school era. The Taipans are a big team, and this is the mismatches. Here's another one.
McVeigh double team, releases Mojave King, who fires. It's off the mark. Brown the rebound. He's on the stat sheet.
I thought Mojave needed to kick that one more. Uh-oh.
Here's Cotton again taking them on aggressively, adds to the tally. So he's got 7 on 3 of 7 from the field.
When Bryce Cotton is coming down in slow transition like that, or when it's Kendrick Davis, you must load the strong side of the floor defensively and show early help. If Bryce sees no one behind his primary defender, it's over.
Galloway peels off the 3, so his first field goal.
He's got a smooth stroke. Just inconsistent at the moment. Still young enough to be an impact player in the NBL.
Cotton.
Oh, dancing on him.
And now a chance. Cheatham back to Flynn Cameron, who puts it on the deck behind the back. Wartenberg takes him on and finishes. Nice move, Flynn Cameron.
And Pete, that's what we're talking about. Sometimes he has to understand we need scoring. Bryce is being just assaulted away from the basketball. I've got to find a way to get it done.
Galloway feeling it at the moment, peels off another triple against his former team.
There's nobody out there for Isaac Humphries to guard. Cairns Taipans got nothing but 6'10" shooters. Galloway is Wartenberg. Isaac got some issues out there, Derek.
That's a great pickup, Damon, and I think that's amazing hang time. Does he have a string in his back attached to the ceiling? If we get a look at his Christmas shoes.
Silent Cheatham getting in the spirit. Marcus Lee about to check into the game, so that will give Humphries an opponent. Former teammate of his as well at Melbourne, of course Kentucky, good friends. This is Bryce Cotton wide open. That's not good for Cairns, but he's off the mark, kept alive. Cheatham starting to warm to the occasion. Here's Brown. Well, the drop-off pass was well timed. Humphries finishing touches. And Adam Ford calls timeout. Tick over 6 minutes left here in term number 2. It's Adelaide by 5.
Well, the tempo's getting a little bit too up and down for Kansas liking. And the Sixers jump out now to a 5-point lead.
There you go, halfway through the second term, a massive Ignite Cup game. And Cairns, they were sticking with them, Damon, but they've struggled in this last few minutes.
Only down by 5, and I'm sitting over here like I'm really cheering. I don't care who wins, by the way. I'm just saying I like the fact that the bottom place team and the top place team is rare when we get upsets like that. I'm a fan of that kind of scenario.
We also got to throw out that ladder right now because you've got a whole different look Cairns Taipans outfit with Sam Mordenberg out there, Mojave King. This lineup now, between what we had at the start of the season and the way they're playing, should excite fans, albeit they had this same lineup a couple of days ago against Sydney and they didn't play the way they're currently playing.
You say you don't care who wins, but you are up and out of your chair every time Cairns does well. But also you've got 4 players from Adelaide in your Supercoach, so I don't know why you're cheering on Adelaide.
I got more than that. I got 5 Adelaide 36s in my Supercoach, and I know you guys all probably hate me, but we're all on one team today.
Case, back to you.
Oh, he's got form, Damon Lowry. Don't worry about that. Those free throws in Wollongong still haunt us all here in Adelaide. There is Bianca Vernon. Her first NBL game. She's done 15 years as a junior ref and 4 seasons in the WNBL. A paramedic from Victoria. So congratulations to her tonight as she makes her first NBL appearance as a referee, and she's working with Michael Aylen, who's a 10-time referee of the year in his 29th season, and approaching the record number of games for a referee, which is 949. And he's going to close in on that later this season and overtake Ray Hunt, who holds the record, just in advance of Bill Mildenhall, who did 9:45. Here's McVeigh for the triple. Off the mark, crash the boards. Cheatham and Humphries in tandem. Good protected.
Good set coming out of the timeout there by the Taipans. Got McVeigh a good look from 3. But they've got to tighten up on this end now because I think Adelaide are starting to find a little bit of chemistry.
Flynn Cameron decides to fire. He's off the mark. White got a piece of it, but can't control it. It comes to McVeigh. Just 8 points for Cairns here in more than 4.5 minutes. Lob pass. Neat work from McVeigh. Finishing touches from Marcus Lee to open his account.
So, Damon, you like that lineup where they had the big shooters out on the floor, but maybe 40 is thinking, okay, they got a dose of that. Now let me come back with the big and attack them in a different manner on the offensive end. As Cotton knocks down a 3-ball. Big hit from Bryce. He's finally got his first 3 to go down. Got 10 quiet points midway through this second quarter.
Exactly, and Marcus Lee gives them a better defensive anchor down low. He can obviously still be a lob threat. So he's going to get his playing time as well, but Isaac Humphries needs to really take advantage on the offensive end now.
65th 3 of the season for Bryce Cotton, most in the end. Oh, Galloway, great defensive play as he shuts down Zylan. Cheatham gives him some of his own medicine.
Amy replay. You see McVeigh, underhand scoop. And again, if you want to make a mistake on the height of the pass, make it on the high side. And again, you've got to get out quicker, Marcus Lee. You just can't allow Bryce to raise up into that 3-ball.
Humphries and Rakocevic in tandem at the moment here for Adelaide as Mike Wells tries to go proactive and not finish a game. Vasiljevic so effective, up to 5 in the game. His plus-minus is the best it's ever been, and doing it in restricted minutes or less minutes than he is used to.
Hey, Pete, you like DJ better as a starter or bench guy?
Well, right now, I think when you've got Bryce Cotton, Isaac Humphries, I still think they need shooting out there in the starting unit. Okay. Troy Brown Jr. was in there, tried Matt Kenyon. I think he needs someone who can able to space the floor. Yep. And we've seen when he's locked in a bit more defensively, I think that's where he definitely helps. I think that's part of the reason why he started to come off the bench. Isaac White knocks down another one.
Derek, ask him again because I didn't get the answer.
Wow.
I got a long soliloquy, but I didn't get the answer.
Wow. I think I said starter. Sorry, I'm still trying to find my seat over here. Damon got up abruptly on that last block, and the white pages he's sitting on all fell off the chair.
And we saw Isaac White knock down a jump shot. And Isaac White is another one. He's only shooting less than 30% from the 3 this season. And we know that he can be a 40% shooter, but now is the time when they need him to lift his efficiency from deep because there's opportunities for him.
Double-digit lead now for Adelaide. Single digits on the shot clock for the Taipans. Andrews found an opening and rushes to the hoop. He's got 7 in the game, and no one has more for the Taipans, apart from Wartenberg with 9. 3.5 to play here in the second. Wardenberg about to check back into the game. Rakocevic hands over to Bryce Cotton. Foul going to be called on Mag here. And it's going to be the first foul of this second quarter. And we've played almost 7 minutes.
And Mag shouldn't be getting that foul reaching in anyway because he was in hard face guard denial. Like, he should have never allowed any degree of separation between him and Bryce.
And I'm wondering if Adam Ford's going to have to start to think is, oh, they get a little lucky there. Marcus Lee, nice block there, but he's a -10. So with him on the floor, I think they've shown success when they play with Wardenberg, McVeigh, Galloway, stretch the floor against Humphries and Rakocevic. So Adam Ford has a bit of thinking to do at halftime, where maybe they just have an advantage with more agile bigs.
This is a classic smalls against bigs. Right now, 4 small guys, I'm including Matt Kenyon in the small department, against Kansas size. As Isaac White says, damn the shooting percentages, I can still knock them down.
And these will be huge because he's been making hay off penetration and getting to the rack. So if he can knock down the 3 ball, it really opens up that aspect of his game for him, and he becomes a more valuable player.
Adelaide 3 of 6 from deep in this second quarter. The margin's out to a game-high 12. Cairns need a bucket. They've been restricted to only 12 points in the second here. Adelaide looking to add to their Ignite Cup tally by taking another quarter. As Rakocevic takes them on, draws a foul. He's off to the free throw line. We saw in their loss in Sydney last Wednesday night that they won 3 of the 4 quarters, but not the game.
Watch this. This is Andrew Andrews. You want to be able to set a tone defensively. Just look at this. Hands down, not getting up and in. Isaac White just hit one. The shot clock's winding down. You've got to give a little bit more energy defensively. You've got to crawl up and in, make him put it on the floor. As soon as his hands went down, Isaac White said, thank you very much.
Of course, a reminder about Hoops Fest as well. Australasia's biggest basketball culture and lifestyle festival, all about hoops. So get across to WA from the 15th until the 18th of January. Plenty on offer. The Hungry Jacks NBL, the WNBL games as well. The Hoops Fest Fan Zone, Hoops Fest Cup, Sneakerland events. Scan the QR code for an exclusive broadcast offer. 20% off all Hoops Fest tickets. Get involved. Run into Allen Iverson as well. This Schofield got a good look off the hand, had it straight, couldn't get the right range. Mag kept it alive though, and from close range he comes up with his first score.
Nice effort inside from Mag, but this is where he's got to really prove his worth. Can he guard Cotton? And the early look is that it's going to be really tough on him. Looks like Cotton's quickness is a problem as DJ steps out of bounds. Ball will go the other way.
Not many people can guard Bryce Cotton. Who is the best Cotton stopper in the NBL at the moment, gents?
Bull Qual.
Bull Qual. Well, Shea Lee's been injured. Shea Lee's been the one, right? We've seen some elite matchups.
Yep.
But this season in particular, it's got to go to Bull Qual.
So because you say Bull Qual, does that mean that you think the Kings are the best team to defend him, or is there another team as a collective that does a better job?
Oh, no, I think it's Sydney for sure.
Sydney.
For certain, they've shown it.
They've shown it twice.
And that's why I think about, I start forecasting, right, a 3 or 5 game series. The Sydney Kings and even the Perth Wildcats give Adelaide a bit of trouble at times. We'll see them on Sundays. A big hit there from Cairns, much needed. And Mike Wells wants to chat about it.
Back-to-back buckets from the Taipans, so they muscle their way back to within 8 points, 153 to play term number 2.
And Drew Andrews has been good. 10 points on 4 of 6 shooting, 3 assists. Doing a good job in keeping the Taipans just around.
Let's just take this time to talk about Derek Rucker's acting prowess as well. We've seen the 12 Days of Christmas. If you want to jump on the NBL socials right now, there is an opener out there. It features Pete Hawley, Leonard Copeland. Damon makes an appearance.
A little cameo.
How did you go with your acting?
Just a little quick, small cameo. I don't like to, bring too much attention to myself.
Budget wasn't enough for that.
Oh, you wanted to play a smaller role. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. The bloopers will be coming up in the third quarter. There's bloopers. Don't you worry about that. I think you feature heavily. Let's talk about this game, though. Adelaide 36ers, they pushed it out. Cairns found a way to fight back. How have you found the second half of this second?
One thing about Adelaide 36ers is even though they have a lot of small guys, they know how to play that small ball style of play. Mike Wells loves it, so they're going to use their strength, which is their speed, spreading the floor. What Cairns Taipans need to do, Pete, is slow it down and be methodical and go inside the mismatches.
And this is one of Adelaide's best chances to win a title in a very long time, right? And I think the last couple of weeks, the game they lost to Sydney, the couple of games they've lost to Sydney, even the way they played against Illawarra, some of the things we're seeing here will benefit them in the long run if they can answer the questions that are being posed against them. It's when the teams are getting after Bryce Cotton. It's attacking with some bigs that can stretch the floor and shoot. And have a look at those. They're ready for some Christmas action. That is not their first can for sure.
Cheers, fellas.
I think they're still going from the Ashes test that's just wound up here at Adelaide. They're just rolling straight through to Christmas, maybe even into New Year.
Pete said he's going to pull that out in the fourth.
Look forward to that. Inside 2 minutes left here until half-time. Adelaide getting all they can handle at the moment from the Taipans. And how about the single-handed finish from Rakocevic, who's now got 8 in the game.
Good offense there. Cotton gets a little backdoor bounce pass, misses the floater, but Rakocevic cleans it up. By the way, Case, I'm working on a top 5 list for NBL media acting skills. Damon's at number 1. He's the best actor, no doubt.
What, Cope's put up a pretty good performance as well.
I have Cope's at number 2.
Don't sell him short.
Finally, a list that makes some sense.
Reminds me of Barney Rubble a little bit with his acting, Leonard Copeland.
Now, what we're not going to do is trust the Derek Rucker list.
Oh, don't trust him. I listen world-renowned. They're great.
Inside the last 60 seconds of an entertaining first half from Adelaide, Troy Brown is off the mark with his first shot of the game. But it's Adelaide by 10. Wardenberg just stops and pulls the trigger. It's off the mark. Nice work over the back, and looked like he was foul taking the shot there as well, Mag, but he gets it done. As you can see, Bryce Cotton with a sore ear. Yeah,
it looked like he caught an elbow in the back of the head on that offensive rebounding contest as they wheel him off of a stagger screen.
Here's Cotton, too nimble for Wardenberg. Tough shot with the left hand. It wouldn't work. Wardenberg did a good job there to hold off Rakocevic. Fast break. Wardenberg started it, and he's going to finish it as well. And the Taipans close the gap even closer at just 6 points.
And often when guys are out of the lineup or miss periods of play for extended amounts of time, you forget how good they are. And this is the case with Sam Wardenberg. He's inside, he's outside, he moves well, he's got excellent mobility on the defensive end. And right now he's got 11 points, 3 assists, and a couple of rebounds.
9-2 run here for the Cairns Taipans in the space of the last 2 minutes. And you see Bryce Cotton just taking one behind the ear. Appears to be okay. So shot clock not in effect here as Adelaide look to close out this quarter. They're winning it at the moment by 4 points. Looking for another point in the Ignite Cup, and Cotton rushes to the hoop, can't get it done. Rakocevic from close range does, signs off on a 2 to get Adelaide to the half century. It's Adelaide 50, Cairns 42 at halftime.
Great cameo from Nick Rakocevic, 10 points in 11 minutes. He's got 7 rebounds, 5 of them offensive. That's why the Sixers have this nice little buffer at the break.
Oh, we love you and Case at the moment, Derek Rucker, and it's 10v1, Pete Hawley, Damon Lowry. What are your biggest takeouts out of that first half?
I mean, this could have been probably a 15-point game, and credit the Cairns Taipans, hit some big shots, got some stops down the stretch, and it's probably right where they want them. They've shown a little bit they can have an advantage. On the other side, they've done some things that we've come to know and love this year as, well, that's just Cairns being Cairns, but a good first half.
I feel like his styles makes fights right now, and right now at Adelaide 36 are playing a fast style of play, which suits them. And Kansas is hanging around, but if they can slow the game down. But the good thing what Adelaide is doing, their bench is actually outscoring the starters.
We absolutely love that. And we've got plenty more to break down after this break. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. It's Wednesday night Ignite Cup action. The 36ers 50 play the Taipans 42. The Adelaide 36ers at home on Christmas Eve. It's a nice Christmas surprise we've got for us. 8-point lead to the Adelaide 36ers. They're taking on the Cairns Taipans, who actually love a game against Adelaide, and they're putting up a nice fight in this first half. Kelsey Brown with you, joined in commentary by two NBL champions, Damon Lowry and Pete Hooley. And Pete, it's a big first half for Bryce Cotton, but there's plenty to talk about with Bryce, and I know there's something that you want to touch on. Bryce Cotton and how to defend him.
Yeah, I think there's so many different ways that teams have tried, right? But that last possession I saw from Moat Mag, that is the kind of position that I've been calling for with a lot of teams to go at him. So watch Maggie, you essentially, once he gets over half court, you essentially invite the drive to look out for your teammates and have the trust for your teammates. Watch where he stands, eventually gets high enough. Look at that, encouraging the drive, saying, you know what? And ideally, you'd want everyone else, Jack McVeigh, Schofield, he's got a shooter, to crowd the paint a little bit more, but you've got to trust that someone's going to step up. And Galloway does. Now, Bryce Cotton's made this plenty of times, but you talk about that position from Mag. That's the one area where if you let Bryce Cotton stand up at the top of the key and dance with it, you're in trouble. But if you can get on his outside and say, hey, I've got four other guys and do that. Yes, he's crafty in that too, but if you can stay disciplined with the hands out and say, hey, you're going to go past me, but I'm not letting you have your way and dictate it on an island, because if you let him dictate things on an island, I'm sorry, but the five-time MVP is going to absolutely cook you for dinner.
I disrespect. I mean, I disagree with you respectfully, is what I was trying to say. You let Bryce go one direction, man. He's living in the key. He's going to draw fouls and get layups. I prefer to guard him straight up and know his tendencies. He wants to go left and shoot step backs. When he goes right, he's trying to get all the way to the basket. You got to have a guy that's kind of quick, though, that can kind of stay with him. That's why Shea Illy has success. That's why Bull Quall has success.
So you think one way, you think stand one way, you think do something.
Well, I think the other side, I agree. Bull Quall and Shea Illy do what you do best, but Bull Quall and Shea Illy don't grow on trees. Not everybody is those two elite defenders, so that's another way when you're not quite as an elite defender like those two. And you can throw out the respect, because it's Christmas,
you
baby.
know
it's all Christmas. Neither of us could have guarded him. I tried it and failed very many times.
All right, we've got 20 minutes of basketball remaining on this Wednesday night. What do both teams need to do? Pete, I'll ask you about Cairns. What do they need to do in this second half?
Well, I mentioned it as well. I wouldn't be surprised if you keep Marcus Lee off the floor a little bit more and get some Sam Wardenberg. Even when we saw a little bit, you can throw Galloway, McVeigh down to the three. I like that look a whole lot more. I think that a whole lot more success rather than trying to match the big on big.
If I'm Adelaide, I'm going to take away all post touches. I'm going to double team everything. Jack McVeigh starts trying to bag down, send a double. When they kick it out, just rotate. You want this game to go up and down if you're the 36ers and try to just outrun them.
Yeah, well, there's plenty more to play out, and there is a massive game of hoops we've got coming up tomorrow. It's Christmas Day. Wherever you are, make sure you tune in. 8:30 p.m. It's a great start time. As we said, we do breakfast, we do Christmas lunch, you do Christmas dinner, and then you roll into a Sydney Kings and Illawarra Hawks Christmas Day special. These ones always end up being a big contest, Pete.
I'm looking forward to this, exactly. Throw everything else out the window with form, history. These two teams do not like each other. The special occasion as well, JaVale McGee, Sam Froling back, and then the games continue. Have a look at round 14. It is jam-packed, and now I understand where you're going with your super coach, albeit the Jackies play twice too. So do the Kings.
Damon, do you give your Hawks a chance tomorrow?
100% they got a chance. I mean, look, Sam Cain's back frauding. That's a Christmas present right there. And guess what? There are no minutes restrictions neither. Alex Moore, the strength and conditioning coach, we don't play that soft stuff.
He's coming back from an Achilles.
He's coming back full guns blazing. He's going to play as many minutes as he wants to.
We have a massive Christmas Day game tomorrow, but we also have 20 minutes left in this Ignite Cup game. It's Christmas Eve. Here's our Christmas spectacular happening at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre right now. 50 plays 42 at the major break, Adelaide and Cairns. The Adelaide Entertainment Centre, they just had Mistletoe Kiss Cam in the building. Christmas spirit is there. Let's look at our halftime highlights brought to you by Hungry Jack's. Sam Wardenberg is the man for the Cairns Taipans at the moment, Damon
He
Lowry.
completely changes the entire complexity of the team. And this is what Adam Ford wanted in the preseason. He didn't know that Sam Wardenberg was going to need ankle surgery and miss almost half the season. But you can see what he can do. A 6'10" guy that can shoot the three, run the floor, post up, block shots. He is just that good. We forget because he's been hurt for so long.
I mean, he's the difference, right? When you think about how this team was supposed to look, if you look at his Blackmore's player profile, 5'8", 11 points, a couple of assists and rebounds. They just look like a shell of themselves without him. So it's great to see him back. Now, it is an almighty charge to get up the ladder, but if they can stay healthy for just a couple of weeks at least, they're going to be a hell of a lot of fun to watch.
Just quickly, in the second half, do they need to get a little bit more through him?
I think so, and I think that comes the product of the matchups they've had as well. So we'll see what they like to roll out there.
There's our Coca-Cola virtual court. Have a look at that. It is beautiful. We had the Mistletoe Kiss Cam. Can we see any footage on it? Have a look.
Don't get yourselves in trouble out there, people.
Hang on.
It's giving Coldplay. It makes me a little bit nervous after we saw that one earlier in the year. This is the start of the third quarter in the Hungry Jack's NBL Ignite Cup on a Wednesday.
Great to have you with us here on Christmas Eve in Adelaide. Start of the tradition 2017 and going strong as Humphries talking about going strong. Muscles his way inside for the first score of the second half.
Well done there by the 36ers, and Adam Ford has made a change and kept Mag out there and has put King on the bench. So obviously he was happy with the job Mag did on Cotton.
McVeigh, 5 on the shot clock, needs to get busy. Drew Andrews puts it on the deck against Cheatham. Late whistle. There appeared to be separation from the angle that I had, and Cheatham doesn't like the call either.
Strong penetration there from Andrew Andrews. And look, he's been the subject of a lot of scrutiny regarding his play and how well he runs the Taipans offense. And while he may not do it in the manner of a true point guard, he does do a good job of creating opportunities for himself and his teammates. Got burgers on the line here, Case.
That'd be a nice early Christmas present for the fans. They love a little bit of Hungry Jacks.
Uh-oh.
And he makes the adjustment there. I'm with you, Derek. I think Andrews has been great in terms of what he's brought to the table. He's averaging 15 points a game, top 20 in the league, 7 assists, which is top 4. He also gets to the free throw line a lot as well. And this team coming in late, he's certainly held up his end of the bargain as Flynn Cameron knocks down the 3.
Well, again, they're one of the better shooting teams in the league. And tonight they've already knocked down 7 threes. That's huge. Takes so much pressure if other guys are doing it instead of Cotton. McVeigh right back at you.
First 3 of the game for Jack, and now Kansas got 7 threes as well at 37%. What the Taipans have done well here is keep Adelaide off the free throw line. They get there more than any other team apart from Melbourne, averaging 23 a game, and they have 6 here to half-time as Cotton exploring comes up empty. O-board for Humphries, gets Cotton another look, and that rattles around the rim and tumbles.
Derek, it's just an automatic invite for Bryce to get inside the key and just put so much pressure on your defense. I see what Mag is trying to do, but I just don't know if it's sustainable.
He's doing too much. He needs to shade instead of open. And Wardenberg continues his good play on return.
13 on 6 of 9 shooting now for Wardenberg. So 16 is season best in his short stint since being back from injury. Cameron timed the pass nicely. Cheatham did all the hard work, but then couldn't produce the finishing. Galloway puts a stop to it.
Looked like Cheatham thought there was contact. No call.
Wardenberg feeling good, knocks down the three. He's up to 16, leads all scorers.
Doing it easy, 2K. 7 of 10 from the field. He's been shooting the ball very well since returning and showing his star power.
Career high of 26 for Wardenberg, in some danger here. Cotton went solo, couldn't finish it though. And Cairns have grabbed the momentum here. 2.5 played in the third. They're back to within 6. After they were down by as many as 13 deep in the second quarter. Shot clock to 10 here. Andrews taking some time to get the offense rolling. Wanted a screen from McVeigh. Whistle off the ball. And fouls called on Bryce Cotton. It's going to be his second personal.
And Andrew Andrews did a decent job there of trying to get the offense organized. I thought he had a stronger potential push and transition to set Wardenberg up. As we see there, he's probing and contact. Pretty clean game so far, only 14 fouls called.
It's been a really composed performance from the Taipans. Shot clock about to expire on Andrews. He's forced to throw a prayer, and it happens for him. They've dragged the margin back to within 3.
Terrible shot, excellent result. Andrews now with 14, 3 of 4 from deep.
Terrific start to this third quarter. 12 points to 7 in favour of the Taipans as Humphries goes to work. That's off the mark as well.
Now they take Galloway out of the game and put Marcus Lee, the lob threat, in.
They look for him there, but Humphries was awake to it, knocked the ball down. And now wide with Wardenberg to beat. McVeigh joining in as well. Here's Flynn Cameron drawing a foul.
Actually, a good foul there as Andrew Andrews was down on the other end after making a mess out of that lob opportunity. We look at the Amy replay. Good defense there. White even swiped at it. That's incredible offense, and this is the opposite. Got to make that play.
And Derek, these are situations I'm talking about with Andrew Andrews. Yes, he made that difficult, tough 3, but there's mismatches all over the floor right now, and this ain't the time for him to go into his bag one-on-one when he got so much offensive firepower next to him. It'll come easier to him if he just sets the table first.
Well, Damon, who's the best player on the court right now for the Taipans?
Sam Wardenberg.
Get him the ball.
Got it now. Wrestles away from Cheatham. Pocket pass for Lee. Missed the target. Couldn't handle it. Cotton with Mag to beat. Takes him on down to the baseline. Worried out of the point. So the D again from Cairns is good. Cameron for Cheatham pushes McVeigh out of the way. It's an offensive foul.
Well, Kelsey, you wrote me about my acting ability. Jack McVeigh showing exceptional acting ability here. Look at that.
Going to get a coach's challenge here, Mike Wells.
I mean,
chat about it.
Wolves, you're the master, and will they overturn this?
I'm going to look at a replay first, and I'll get back to you.
Wow.
From that baseline angle, and you know we need camera 4,
Well,
the definitive camera 4, but he took it in the solar plexus.
Right.
Depends where his feet are, too.
Well, but Cheatham never gets elevated, so it doesn't matter.
That's true, also true. So maybe you're the expert there, Derek.
This is a charge.
Yeah, I don't see that getting overturned.
Mike Wells is 0-6 in challenges this season.
And he stepped on Wardenberg's foot. I mean, on Jack McVeigh's foot.
0-6, you said, Case. You can chalk another one up. They might be top of the ladder, but they are bottom of the Coaches Challenge ladder, and the Twitter account is going to love it that keeps involved with all of those.
Well, what happens there, fellas? Do the players need to go to the coach and say, hey, coach, those challenges, you've got to work on them. Can we give you some advice?
Well, just about every team has a system. And right now, I think Adelaide need to review that system because there's no way you should be 0 for 7.
Cheatham is not airborne attempting to pass or shoot, so
Right.
normal contact will suffice.
You heard there the perfect
runs him over,
explanation from Michael Ayalon that, as you said, Ruck, Cheatham was not airborne. And surely you know that too. That's not why you're challenging it, that he's in the charge circle. And I'm gonna assume by that reaction from Mike Wells that he was unaware.
11-2 run here for the Cairns Taipans. Early stages of the third. Lockie Barker onto the floor. Now Wardenberg has been doing all the damage. Works to an opening. Short-armed a shot there under pressure. And now reaching in over the back. Collides with Flynn Cameron. And a foul's going to be called on Wardenberg. It's going to be his first.
In case, I know we've been singing the praises of Sam Wardenberg, but I haven't seen him move this well in his time in the NBL. And now I believe in his 4th season, he is proving to be a real valuable asset.
No doubt about it. Next gen winner in 2023. He's got a degree in geography as well, so if he does decide to move anywhere further, speaking of moving, he would know all about it.
Kosovic picks up an offensive foul for not being set as he leans in, and that's just not smart basketball. And you've got to understand when you can afford to pick up the foul. Right now, if your offense is struggling, you're only up 3, you've got to be really disciplined.
Just 7 points for Adelaide in this term. We've played almost 5 minutes, so Taipans have grabbed the initiative out of the major break. They close to within 3. McVeigh looking to tie it away is off the mark.
Good offense there to create the mismatch. Adelaide have numbers with Mag down.
Foul on Andrews. An obvious one at that.
And you can see there, Case, Sam Wardenberg got an option. He got 3 guys he can post up. Do I post up Bryce? Do I post up Isaac White or DJ? Which one do I choose? But to the 36ers' credit, they doubled him straight away, and they're going to back themselves in rotations.
19, shot clock 19.
And the resulting shot was a good one. You get a good look from the 3 from McVeigh. Sometimes you got to just put the ball in the bucket.
3 team fouls on Cairns in this quarter, 4 on Adelaide with 5 minutes to play, so they need to make an adjustment or that will be problematic for them. Here's Vasiljevic putting it on the deck against Lee, forces it to Rakocevic and Cheatham for the finishing touches.
Great ball movement. DJ found himself in a bit of a twist and was able to work his way out of it, and hands by Cotton.
Oh, he worked it out of bounds off Marcus Lee. He is everywhere. That's why Bryce Cotton leads the league in steals.
Get a look at this set right here. Late shot clock. Great awareness from Rakocevic. Cheatham just pogos to a 2-hand dunk.
4.5 to play, term number 3. Adelaide by 5. Started this quarter leading by 8. Vasiljevic in a mismatch against Marcus Lee. Rolls it down low. Rakocevic shows it to Wardenberg. And now goes back outside. Shot clock to red numbers now. They poke it back for Rakocevic. Got Andrews in the air and adds another 2. He's up to an even dozen.
Good patience there by Vasiljevic because he had every right to shoot that ball on 2 separate occasions. Instead, he waited, worked the pick and roll, and got an easy look.
Back-to-back baskets for Adelaide after the Taipans were starting to make their move. Single digits on the shot clock here for the Taipans. McVeigh in the paint against Rakocevic. He was there for a long time, and he came up with a finish as well. He's got 9 in the game.
Tough shot. He had Mojave King in the far corner for a kick-out pass, elected not to go there, and hit a super tough shot.
Here's Bryce Cotton against Wardenberg. One way, back the other. Penetration is good, and he's out at the last moment. Free throws to come here as Wardenberg gets his 2nd personal.
They are really playing rough defense on Cotton. Every time he goes to the rim, they're making him pay some sort of price, and you see him clenching his fist on his shooting hand. Looks like a little wrist issue. But here, Wardenberg just gets him across that wrist. And Bryce will go to the line to shoot 2.
1 of 1 from the stripe so far in this game. 100 years of thrills, 100 years of laughs, 100 years of joy. Is this Damon Lowry? No, it's the Harlem Globetrotters, and they're coming to your city. It's your only chance to be part of the 100-year tour across Australia and New Zealand. Don't miss your chance to be part of the legacy. Get the QR code there, buy some tickets, and enjoy the Harlem Globetrotters.
Good shout. What was that very first tour like, Damon?
Yeah, I can't remember. What year was that? 1925?
It was a lot of fun. Wardenberg muscles his way in from close range. It's kept alive there by Schofield, and he took a nasty whack to the face as well. So foul going to be called on Adelaide, and free throws to come for the Taipans.
Schofield's got to shake it off now and go to the line and knock down 2. And Pete, I never know any type of swat to the face that feels good.
What would you call it?
Spot on. I was trying to think. I don't think there is one.
Schofield, none of 1 from the field.
Oh boy! Now I'll tell you what, it would be against the Christmas spirit to not give the Adelaide faithful and South Australians some free burgers on Christmas Eve.
And the Admiral obliges. So get to the NBL app, open a Hungry Jack's bar, and the code word is window. You've got till 6 o'clock tomorrow on Christmas Day to claim your free Hungry Jack's cheeseburger.
When you get there, tell them the Admiral sent you. Give them a salute.
I'm not sure that 6 p.m. deadline will actually be in effect as McVay missed another one. McVay's had some good looks, but he hasn't shot the ball well this evening.
1 of 6 from long range, 4 of 11 from overall territory. Wartenberg with 12 shots, and Cotton was 16 of the only ones to have taken more. Bryce Cotton pulls off the 3. Adam Ford says timeout. And Adelaide, after they were challenged and the margin was cut to 3, it explodes back out to a 10-point buffer.
Gets that ball in his left hand, and we know what he can do from that range. He loves that area of the court. Cotton with 17.
And we go back to what you said at halftime, Pete. If you let him dance, he'll go to work. But we've been teasing the bloopers the whole time. We've been teasing it in the pre-game. We've been teasing it across this game as well. Let's take a look at the bloopers from our Love Actually edit.
That's good. That was a good one. Tell them to beat it. Tell them to kick rocks. Tell them to go to hell. Okay.
It's hard to get him. Sorry, I was looking at Luca. We tried Derek? Oh yeah, get the Derek cards.
Okay. Thankfully, that's not as bad as that could have been.
It could have been way worse.
It could have been way worse. That was a long night. Now, if you enjoyed the Space Jam opener, I think that took about an hour and a half on set. That one took a whole lot longer.
Who had the most bloopers?
Coase.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah. So he got let off light there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look at this game, though. Where are the Adelaide 36ers at the moment? Where are the Cairns Taipans?
Adelaide are trending right where they want to be right now. They sped the game up a little bit. Now, all of a sudden, offensive execution by the Taipans is not what it should be, Pete. And I feel like Bryce is starting to warm to the occasion.
Yeah, you see Bryce Island, and if it's not this direct matchup, well, it's game over. I know he might have hurt his thumb or his wrist, whatever it was. It doesn't matter. He's got 17 right now, which means he probably finishes with 30.
Cotton's got it again. It's a loose ball. Kenyon wide in support will pull the trigger on the 3. Off the mark, Rakocevic the finishing touches.
He's been huge. Just destroying the Taipans on the offensive boards. That's 6 offensive rebounds for Rakocevic, 14 points. And he's a plus 18 in just under 15 minutes.
One shy of Rakosevic's career best in the NBL, which came against Perth here back in round 8. McVay double-teamed. Andrews skip pass to the corner, and Cotton will be called for the foul here as he infringed Mojave. King taking the shot.
That'll be Cotton's 3rd foul as King raised up off of the skip pass. And a crucial passage of play right here. I'll be interested to see if Mike Wells elects to give him a couple of minutes here, just to double down on a bit of rest and foul preservation. King will shoot 3.
Hey, Case, what's Bryce's foul out streak at now?
Well, he fouled out, didn't he, for the first time? 275 games. So
surely not.
Back to 7 at this stage, but no, I wouldn't have thought so. He's shown in the past that he has an ability to play with fouls, and that's his 3rd. So 2 minutes left in the 3rd. But again, with this Ignite Cup, these are important points here for the Taipans now, who have closed the gap to 9, which means that Adelaide lead this quarter by a single point with 2 minutes to play. Bryce Cotton, 17 in the game for him, including 7 in this period out of the 18 that Adelaide have come up with. Guarded by Barker, gets a double team, feeds Rakocevic, who marches inside. It's a career high for Nick Rakocevic.
Nick Rakocevic repaying his teammates for that 1-game suspension. Wow.
Contact, Galloway, offensive foul as White takes a beating. So Galloway gets the foul. The 2nd personal for him. Look at Rakocevic.
Kyron Galloway, welcome to my Instagram story.
Merry Christmas, Kyron. My goodness, Rakocevic, he's been really, really good tonight. The last couple of games, he was huge for Illawarra, against Illawarra as well. As Bryce Cotton gets back to his step back going left. Money normally.
Mike Wells has a wealth. He has depth in the big man department. 2 6'11", 7-foot monsters. You can just roll them out at any time. Sometimes he likes to play them together.
It's been a good impact from Rakocevic after missing the game against Sydney last Wednesday through suspension after he was ejected against Melbourne for the hit on Delaney. He answered in Illawarra with 11 points and a game-high 11 rebounds. He's got a career-best 16 points here tonight to go with 10 boards. Arguably his best game of the season so far as Lee is fouled climbing upstairs.
Well, firstly, Marcus Lee's got to finish that. But secondly, Nick Rakocevic, this is his value because certain teams will pose an extremely good matchup for him to excel. And we saw games earlier in the season where he was really good on the offensive end. In fact, earlier in the season, he was knocking down the 3-ball. Now, we haven't seen him do that in a number of weeks, but 16 points at 70% case. I think Mike Wells will be extremely happy with that productivity. And he's rough.
So lead to the free throw line, and he is a candidate.
We might be able to make it a combo meal here. Damon, they do combos when you double up?
They should. They should throw in a strawberry shake or something.
Strawberry shake? What are you doing?
Strawberry shake?
Yeah. Hey,
Marcus
delicious.
Lee.
Mess around, they like, don't get hooked on them.
I've never had one.
Some onion rings?
You've never had a strawberry shake?
I have not, Pete. Chocolate, baby.
Well done, McVeigh. Tapped it away from Vasiljevic. Got it to the advantage of Barker. Inside 60 seconds remaining here in the third. It's Adelaide by 10 after they started this quarter up 8. Andrews dancing in front of Rakocevic. Shot clock to 10. Lost a handle. Whistle on the play. Foul going to be called on Adelaide. Free throws to come.
And Damon, this is what we talked about, where he gets self-centered and he's focused on how can I make a play, how can I make a play. And even though he drew a foul there, that was not good offensive basketball.
Yeah, and it's like that scorpion. He just can't help himself. Like it's only a matter of time before he reverts back to who he really is when he already has the formula.
You. Yes, I see.
You know this tail.
Yep.
Is that what scorpions do?
Yeah, you know, okay, I didn't tell the whole story. You know how the fox or whoever, the frog, tried to get across the pond, and the scorpion said, help me get over there. He says, no, but you'll sting me. And then he stung him. He said, what you sting me for? Now we're going to drown. He said, I'm a scorpion.
I like strawberry shakes.
A little crossover there. A lot of contact there from Rakocevic. And Andrews was actually losing his footing, so the Taipans quite fortunate.
And it was a fourth foul on Rakocevic as well, so he sits down now as we head toward three-quarter time. Vasiljevic for the triple.
That's just as good as a layup. You let him be out there wide open.
Adelaide are going to win this quarter as well, you suspect, after they won the first quarter by 2 and the second quarter by 6. Andrews slowing it down. Red numbers now guarded by Brown. He pulls the trigger from deep. It's off the mark. Kept alive. Barker on the buzzer. Looked after the event. Are they going to count it? No. Going to have a look and check it out on the three-quarter time buzzer. But it was Nick Rakocevic climbing upstairs for a career night for him with 16 points. Adelaide with the lead here with a quarter to play on Christmas Eve in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Isn't that beautiful? No, that's here.
dogs everywhere. It was just crazy. Can you tell me, Wolverine is in the house, the greatest showman. Everyone wants the camera to be on them now because they're like, we are dreamy, we are beautiful, and we are huge. That's not bad. Not bad, Wolverine. Hey, well, without Adelaide, there's a lookalike here. Let's get back to the action on this Christmas Eve. We love once again, you have chosen to spend your Christmas Eve with us. And this Ignite Cup 10,006 here tonight. Get around yourselves, Adelaide, and clap those hands. One to go.
12 points the difference. Adelaide 36ers leading the Cairns Taipans. And Andrew Andrews has been busy. But, Pete, I want to know what Adam Ford needs to say to Andrew Andrews going into this final quarter, because he's got a little bit selfish with the ball, or does he need to create more plays?
I think he's coming off the ball screen and also understanding whatever play they want to run, whether it's to McVeigh or Wardenberg, let's get them the ball in the right spots as they're going to get a chance to get it again because it's a bit overzealous there, Troy Brown Jr.
This is a conversation I asked Adam Ford in the pregame. Like, he has to find a balance. It's, when you are a good scorer, you don't want him to not score, but he's also got to recognize mismatches. That's what guards do.
It is a tough balance to find. Because if you tell him, hey, just facilitate, you take away the aggression that he can play with, and then he may as well not be out there. So that's why it's a tough gig to coach.
And that's why point guard position is the toughest in sports.
Points off the bench have been big for Adelaide tonight. 38-8 they lead that category. Bench outscoring the starters for Adelaide, if you don't mind. They move the ball around. Taipans, one on the shot clock. Andrews pulls the trigger. Caught it deep. They wrestle for the rebound. And well done, Vasiljevic worked it to the advantage of Cheatham.
You talk about that, John Casey, and Damon Lowry has been saying this. He likes Troy Brown Jr. as a starter because it provides that punch off the bench.
This is exactly right. We don't need Troy Brown Jr. out there to score points, but I like that high-octane team that comes off the bench. Every one of them are prolific, and DJ, even Matty Kenyon now is scoring the ball more, Isaac White, Vukocevic. So Troy Brown Jr., whatever you get from him in the starting lineup is great.
Andrews outside. McVeigh gets a good look. Can't finish at 10,006 in the house here. Another sellout for the Adelaide 36ers. This run of 32 consecutive sellouts started on Christmas Eve 2 years ago. Every home game since Christmas Eve 2 years ago has sold out here in Adelaide, and we sing the praises of the players, and rightly so. But full credit to all the hard-working staff of the 36ers, the people behind the scenes that have really put together a great product here in Adelaide. Hottest ticket in town, and congratulations to them.
You tell no lies there, Case, and Wardenberg continues to rack up the points. He's got 18. McVeigh has had excellent opportunities to impact this game. He's only 4 of 12 as Troy Brown Jr. gets to work. Bucket finally breaks through, and again, I know we've been talking about him, but I think he really must find his way into this Sixers lineup from a scoring perspective. And I don't know, Damon, whether it's as a starter or whether coming off the bench. All I know is when he's out there between those lines, he's got to get more done. Because right now, I think he is the link that is holding them back from being a true championship dominant threat.
You preaching to the choir. I say they needed more offensive firepower as Troy Brown Jr. subs out after making that bucket. And when Matt Weston went and got him, that's what they thought they were going to get. And right now, he hasn't produced. And this is the same Troy Brown Jr. that was in the NBA playing for the Lakers. He knows how to score the ball. I'm just shocked he's getting off to such a slow, passive start.
Vasiljevic in the corners off the mark. Well done, Cameron. Read it off the rim. Keeps it alive, gets Cotton an opportunity. He's deep, and there's Flynn Cameron again reading it. High IQ player. Tried to shovel pass under pressure. It came unstuck. Schofield, Cotton about the pounce, goes to work. Gee, that's a good play under pressure.
Looked like a foul, too, Case, as Schofield gets his 3rd point of the game. Cairns right back in it.
Working on McVeigh. Nothing on offer. Has to retreat back to Vasiljevic, and now Cheatham. On the same wavelength there as Humphreys. So Cheatham goes solo, caught the back of the rim.
And that's where things look a little bit ugly on the offensive end. Cheatham not willing to square up and take on McVeigh off the bounce. really lets the Taipans off the hook on the defensive end. Zylan must be aggressive in those circumstances.
Cheatham picks up the foul, going to be his third personal, second team foul on Adelaide in this quarter.
Maybe replay. Flynn Cameron tries to get to the rack and rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Schofield finishes.
Galloway, guarded by Humphreys. 3 minutes played in the final quarter. Wardenberg monsters from everywhere. Goes down hard. He's off to the free throw line, looking to add to a game-high 18 points.
Well, they picked up that mismatch quickly. Good pass inside to Wardenberg. He drew the foul from Cameron. And Cheatham came over the top and swatted that ball out of bounds with serious force.
Look, maybe that's happening, but...
I mentioned Adelaide averaged 23 free throws a game. Tonight, they have taken 8. Their lowest this season, 18. How has the Taipans been able to keep Adelaide off the free throw line?
Well, I think part of it is as we get another foul called, and that one will be on Cheatham, and that's number 4. But, Case, to answer your question, I think it's been a game where the officials have let them play. Wardenberg faked the handoff, and Cheatham got caught in a bad spot.
Well, Cheatham looks banged up here. 36ers have a massive game on Sunday. Chapter 3 of their new rivalry with the Wildcats.
It's Wardenberg firing from deep off the mark. Cotton grabs the rebound. Number 4 for him in that category. 6 assists, couple of steals on his season average in that category, which leads the competition. Humphreys from close range knocks down the bucket. He's up to 8. Adam Ford calls timeout. It's Adelaide 77, Cairns 66, 6.5 to play.
It's a good time out here from Adam Ford. They've had their chances. Couple looks from Sam Wardenberg. Zylan Cheatham, a little bit of a watch here just to make sure that, think about guys who you take away things that, oh yeah, you can play through a little bit of an ankle injury, but you remove his athleticism, that will definitely impact the way they play.
Well, there's not an athlete in the league like Zylan Cheatham. Let's just be clear about that. But I feel like the Cairns Taipans give them problems because they have so much size across the board. Very few teams in the league, now that Sam Wardenberg is there, are that big. New Zealand Breakers can put 4 6'10" guys from various stages out on the floor, but not many teams can, and that's what's going to give Adelaide 36 a little bit of trouble in that regard.
Adelaide by 11, 77-66 in the Ignite Cup here, having won the first 3 quarters. They won first 3 quarters against Sydney, but couldn't get across the line. As Wardenberg, see the collision there with Zylan Cheatham.
And coming into this game, Case, as Cheatham needs to take some time out with 4 fouls and a contusion to the inside of his left knee, but the Cairns Taipans were last in the league in field goal attempts per game at 68. They've only attempted 51 in this one, and the 36ers have taken 66 shots.
Andrews, Humphrey's got a piece of the action. Rakocevic cleans it up for him. So over 6 minutes left on the clock here, and Rakocevic with 4 fouls playing out there. Cheatham with 4 fouls on the bench. Cotton inside extra pass, and look at Rakocevic. He's having a night.
Oh, he's dunking on people like that, Case. Now with a double-double, he's got 18 and 11. What a return game from Nick Rakocevic.
Promising signs for him as McVeigh takes him on at the other end. Wardenberg from close range. Be disappointed he didn't finish there. Thought he was fouled. Referees didn't see it that way. Adelaide by 13, threatening to run away from the Taipans here at the moment as Cameron fires unsuccessfully.
The wheels on the Taipans wagon are getting real loose.
Still plenty of time on the clock, but they need a bucket. Andrews has taken some friendly fire there. I think it was Wardenberg that caught him high across the chops, and that was a heavy hit.
Well, that's twice he's been hit across the grill. He's bleeding. with Michael Aylen to blow it. And that was not friendly fire. That was unfriendly fire from Isaac White, who basically collared him. Should have been called.
The initial reaction was that it appeared to be Wardenberg, but you're right, the replay tells the story. Slow pass for Wardenberg. He has to reset here. Mag in traffic. Look for the pass. It was well read. Cotton up and running. Only White ahead of him in terms of teammates as Humphries joins in now. The mismatch on McVeigh. Cotton wants to go solo. Loose ball. And Andrews has got it. Cotton to beat. Behind the back gets Mag invited to Humphries. Shut it down. Fans love the defensive presence of Isaac Humphries as we move inside the last 5 minutes.
Mismatch.
The offensive end Humphries, late whistle provided. Free throws to come here for Humphries.
And Damon, we see a smooth pass there from Mag, who doesn't really elevate. Nice block shot from Humphries. But the Sixers do a good job, Damon, of finding the mismatch and dropping it down inside to Humphries to draw the foul. Now I got a question for you. Are you a fan of the too small? It's been resurrected. It went away for about 12 to 18 months, but it's seemingly back.
Yeah, and I don't like it. I didn't like it when they first started it, and I definitely don't like the resurrection of it. Just give me flashbacks from all them times Leonard Copeland would be saying mouse in the house and all that kind of stuff. So now, don't like it. It ain't needed in the game. But credit to Isaac Humphries, though, like you say, just running down to the Mitsubishi Motors logo, getting seals, and Andrew Andrews, Derek, you got to be careful. He's on a hat trick with technical fouls, and he's getting frustrated.
Adelaide by a game-high 14 points here at the moment. Cairns came from 10 down in the last quarter to force overtime here 5 weeks ago, and Lee is fouled by Humphries. He's going to the free throw line.
And it's so important that Lee do his best to try and finish these little attempts around the bucket, because when he gets fouled, it's a 50% proposition.
Just in time for Christmas. It's the Hungry Jacks NBL 12 days of Christmas from December 15 to 26. Time running out, but we are giving away a chance for you to win big. Heaps of prizes to be unlocked every day. Just enter now via the QR code on your screen or at nbl.com.au/Christmas. Get involved.
Speaking of acting list, Derek, what have you got yourself?
Yeah, I didn't get through it. I had Damon 1, Copes 2, the GOAT, Andrew Gaze at number 3.
Yep.
I've got you ahead of Felix, and then me.
I've got you ahead of Felix.
Oh, that's only because I'm here.
Well,
Thank
no,
you, Pete.
That's
Thanks for building my confidence.
That's quite literally because we've seen some acting from Felix, and yeah, let's just leave it at that.
He was believable when he was acting as an NBL player, Felix.
Oh, Case!
To be fair, Case has had some great commentary moments, but that will live on in history. The call of it, 0 of 6 in Adelaide.
I was there. I think a lot of people were there. He had the bravery to just keep firing as well. Was loving every moment.
That's my alarm every morning is John Case. He's going again.
Tick over 4 minutes out. Adelaide by 12 at the moment. That's where they started this quarter. So another point in the Ignite Cup on the line here, as well as the win. Rakocevic misses the triple. That's his first 3 tonight attempt. Doesn't take a lot because earlier in the season it wasn't a pretty sight for him. And at the moment, 1 of 18 this season. Nick Rakocevic from deep. McVeigh pushed away Vasiljevic, who went in on the acting as well after copping it high and draws a foul.
And cans have dried up from deep. They're now 9 of 28. But since a good start in making 6, they've gone 3 of their last 15, and Jack McVeigh is 1 of 8 from deep.
Only 7 points apiece here in this last quarter. Been a grind, 3.5 minutes to play. Plenty on the plate of Adelaide in terms of getting another point for the Ignite Cup and move their way up into 3rd position. This is the 13th Ignite Cup game. There are only 7 after this as Vasiljevic steps through, adds to his tally. He's into double digits, and Adam Ford wants timeout.
Smart play. Had the big man Lee out on the perimeter. Probe. Got Lee raised up. Went through the step-through move. Nice left-hand finish by Vasiljevic.
Well, Adelaide 36ers lead the Cairns Taipans and the scoring has completely dried up, Damon. Rough signs for Cairns. Anything they can do in these last few minutes?
It's going to be hard from here down 14 with 3:20 to go, but this is a product of losing so many games. The Cairns Taipans, Pete, don't know how to consistently win. Yes, they got the talent that's enough to win, but you can just see they don't play to their strengths all the time. It's inconsistent. So right now, it ain't looking good. I think it's over.
And give a little bit of credit to the 36ers defensively for kind of taking it out of Wardenberg, McVeigh's hands and making it a little tougher as we see the quarter by quarter. And Adelaide doing what they have to do to try and get to the Gold Coast. But see that man who was standing up at the end there, when the scoring's dried up, throw Cody Statman in there. Cody Statman coming off a good game, his confidence to be high. If no one else can score, if you don't like some of the other decision-making, throw him out there and see what can happen.
A reminder there that you can win a point for every quarter that you win. So Adelaide winning right there. And if they win the most amount of points that they can in this game, they can elevate themselves into second. Like you said, They can head to the Gold Coast. And imagine finishing a regular season, you head to the Gold Coast, maybe you win 400K, then you go on to play off in a championship series. That's a pretty nice year.
I still want to see a suitcase with $400,000 cash in it, Pete.
Well, I want to do, and Case mentioned it, the 60% that's allotted for the players. Once we know the two teams on there, I think we just start putting a little bit of pressure on to make that number up a bit towards around the 70, 80%.
Inside the last 3 minutes, Adelaide in the driver's seat by 14. Vasiljevic from deep. It was well deep. It's a Christmas present for the Adelaide fans.
A consistent diet of open looks by the Adelaide 36ers for DJ Vasiljevic, and he's cooking. Knocked down 3 of 6 from deep.
Here's Andrews firing over Humphries. That's off the mark. It was good scrambling D there from Humphries to put the pressure on. Ball knocked down out of court. Cairns will restart. Adelaide looking for a sweep here of 7 points in the Ignite Cup. Only 3 teams have been able to do that so far in the previous 12 games. New Zealand did it against Illawarra, Perth did it in Cairns, and Brisbane did it in Perth. I think there's only 5 teams left who can make the final of the Ignite Cup, and I don't think New Zealand are going to be there, despite the fact that they're on top. It all comes down to the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, really. They've got games against Cairns, New Zealand, and Perth. And if they win those games, and they are going to be real close to it. Here's Rakocevic stepping inside. It's an unsportsmanlike foul from a frustrated Admiral Schofield.
Great patience by the Sixers. DJ does a good job of exploring and then getting that ball to Cotton, who manipulates the pick and roll situation extremely effectively. And Schofield come out of the game. He's got, now it has 3 fouls.
Picked up an unsportsmanlike foul when he was here 5 weeks ago as well, Admiral Schofield. Hasn't been his night in this one. 3 points and 1 of 3 from the field. And when he walked to the scorer's bench the last time to check in, it did look a little out of sorts in terms of wasn't moving as smoothly as you would like someone to be moving if they're about to check into an NBL game. I wonder about the injury issues that he may have. We know that he's had them so far this season, but coming into this game, averaging 11 points a game and 5 rebounds, has hit more threes than any other player in Cairns. But it just hasn't worked for him in this game as we move inside the last 2 minutes of this last quarter. And Vasiljevic continues to impress. He's up to 15 on 6 of 9 from the field.
Gets the bucket. Barks out for the and 1. He's been good in the second half. And the Sixers as a team have been exceptionally good on this defensive end. Granted, they're playing against the worst offensive team in the competition as Mag knocks one down. But Mike Wells desperately wants this team to get into the top 4 on the defensive rating. They currently sit at number 5. He knows that one of the keys to winning an NBL championship historically has been finishing in that top 4. If they don't do it, if they don't finish in the top 4 at the end of the season, it'll be interesting to see if they can carry forth and get this title.
Well, right now, the bookmakers have them on top in terms of favouritism. Adelaide, the best home record, 8-2. The best road record, 7-2. Which 15 wins, and it's more than they have had since 2018 when they went 18-10 and lost the grand final to Melbourne 3-2 in that epic series that Pete Hooley enjoys talking about.
We've got a minute 24, Case. If you want to continue to rattle off numbers about it, I'm happy to listen.
Lucky Barker shut down Rakocevic with a block shot as well. 5th block of the game for Adelaide. In the corner is Galloway, quarter deep with the 3.
I'm just curious, Case, like Hooley's stat line during that series.
Don't have it right in front of me, Damon.
Damon, of all people, knows that it's about the contribution a lot more than the numbers.
Of course I do, but I'm just still, I'm a historian, just kind of curious.
We both had small stats, but at least I'm 6'4".
Cotton off the mark. Sargent is 19. Inside the last 60 seconds. So they were brave right up until 3/4 time, the Taipans, but they've run out of juice here against an Adelaide team and is looking to extend their winning ways here. They've won their last 5 against Cairns. Number 6 to be chalked up here. Vasiljevic has been good. He's going to fire from deep again, a heat check. Well, it came to Bryce Cotton. Mag left it to him, and Cotton fires and is fouled, and he's going to the free throw line.
Bryce had a solid game, a physically challenging one. The Taipans have put a lot of pressure on him, create a lot of contact when they've been able to. But he'll get a chance to pad the stats counter. Rasmussen checks in, and Mike Wells is clearing the bench. DJ Vasiljevic with a very good game. Brogan. All the crew checking in. Michael Harris. Bryce will knock down these 3 and call it a night himself.
Cotton up to 20 points in the game. Leads all scorers. Wardenberg with 19, pacing the Cairns Taipans. This has been impressive from the Adelaide 36ers. Nice way to go into Christmas and ahead of their Sunday clash against the Perth Wildcats. Fans climb to their feet to salute the star Bryce Cotton. Game high 22-point lead. And Adelaide going to rise up the Ignite Cup ladder and stake their claim for a spot in the $400,000 final on the Gold Coast. Marcus Lee with the final say adds to the Taipans tally, but this has been Adelaide's win and it's been impressive. They go into Christmas on the back of a 20-point win. Adelaide 93 have defeated Cairns 73.
36ers and the Cairns Taipans meet at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. That's the end of our Ignite Cup game. Adelaide 36ers walking away with a 20-point win. We've got plenty to talk about, plenty of players to talk to. Nick Rakocevic is coming up, but how did you guys see that game?
It was a lot closer than that in the first half. I thought the Cairns Taipans were going to give it a shake on the back of Wardenberg. He looked terrific. Jack McVeigh had his moments, and in the end, Adelaide's firepower, and I think their execution, especially in the second half, was just going to be too much, and Cairns had no answers.
The more poised team won. I mean, Adelaide's on top of the ladder for a reason, so it was clear one team's on the bottom, don't quite know how to win. Other teams at the top been winning for quite a while, so they did what they needed to do.
Is that a sign about the Adelaide 36ers and just how much they've improved from the start of the season, or is it more of a reflection on where Cairns is at?
I think it's more of a reflection about the Adelaide 36ers. They're evolving before our own eyes, and they're finding out different ways to win. You hear Mike Wells say it in his press conferences. They can win a blowout type style. They can win a close game. They can have a big lead, lose it, still manage to win. It's all about just ticking the win column over, and Adelaide is doing it in a multitude of ways.
Yeah, I think that's the key, right? Because what we saw against Illawarra, if they had replicated that in the second half of this game, they might have lost. So they learned from that and really stuck to the game plan, executed. Rakocevic was unbelievable on the glass, and everybody else just kind of picked up. And this is, as Damon said, this is a trap game. This is one that they were supposed to win and supposed to win well, and they did that in the end.
Yeah, let's rehash our bold predictions, Damon. You were a bit off the pace, but that's okay. Adam Ford, what does he say to his troops now? It's hard to stay upbeat after a loss like that, but it now looks like this isn't a norm for the Cairns Taipans.
It is, too. And I would be pointing out, if I was Coach Adam Ford, that when we were playing well, let's look at what we were actually doing. And then I'm going to talk about what did we do when we were playing bad? Can we eliminate that and, you know, stick to the script, so to speak? But I'm going to need more leadership. Jack McVay was very quiet today. When the wheels start to get wobbly, guys tend to go selfish. And I'm not saying they're selfish people, but they play selfish, a selfish style. That needs to be addressed in game.
Let's welcome in one of the stars of the show tonight, if not the star of the show. He's our Foot Locker player of the game. It's Nick Rakocevic. Nick, thanks for joining us post-game. How did that one feel? It felt good?
Yeah, no, it felt great. I felt like the team, they played really well. You know, I was just trying to do everything that I could do to help the team win, just be a monster on the glass and, you know, just do the little stuff. And I'm just blessed that, like, the team stuck with me, the coaches stuck with me, and they believed in me. They gave me the confidence that I needed throughout the season. So I'm just really happy we got the win, though.
Nick, I'm not sure if you've got a monitor there, but I do want you to take us through what's going through your mind before that dunk, because we've seen you get some dunks throughout the course this year, but
not like that.
Will you put him on a poke?
Z-cheat. I had to get a Z-cheat dunk on this season. That's a Z-cheat dunk, but no, I passed up the first one and I turned the ball over, and my coach was just like, man, just go in there and dunk it. So that's exactly what I did, and you know, I got a little bunnies, so. You know, I just saw the open lane, and I just, you know, tried to take a shot into the basket. And I thought I missed it at first, to be honest. And then I saw everybody's reaction. I was like, oh, I guess it went in. So.
Nah, you disrespecting him, Nick, on Christmas Eve, man. You ain't no good for that. Hey, but Nick, we had a quick little chat when we was in Tasmania, man. And at that stage in the season, you hadn't found your groove yet. What's been the difference since then to now?
I just think, you know, keep putting in the work, man. You know, like I said, like, my coaches and my teammates, they believe in me, and just showing up every day. And just, you know, for me, this is a new role. You know, new team, new league. This is my first time in Australia in NBL. So, you know, it took me a while to get adjusted. But I feel like after last game and tonight, you know, things are just starting to grow for me, you know, individually wise. But all I care about is just us winning at the end of the day. So if I got to play 10 minutes or 30 minutes, I'm just going to do what I have to do.
That's what's up. I had you on my super coach team too, man.
My man.
That's what's up.
Appreciate you.
Well, you certainly got the win. Thanks so much for your time, Nick.
Thank
A massive game from you. We love having you in the NBL. Go and enjoy that one.
Thank you guys.
A massive game from Nick Rakocevic, arguably his best when he's come into NBL26. 19 points, 13 boards, and a massive slam to go with that piece.
Well, no, arguably, that was definitely his best performance. It was great to see, and you can kind of hear the way he's talking. He doesn't say it in that many words, but because of the suspension and because of the lack of form that he's been in, and there's the dunk once again, he did owe it to his team. And it's great to see him rise up and then everyone get around him and talk about having him in your super coach team. You got half the state from Adelaide in your super coach team,
that
man.
Reaction from DJ. Can we just touch on that?
DJ was hyped. DJ couldn't believe what he saw.
Have we seen Cheatham go knee to the chest on someone? I'm not sure if we have, so Rakocevic might have one up on him. We'll have to ask him.
Well, Zyla's knees are over people's heads, that's why.
That's true.
I'm nervous for your super coach. Let's get courtside to the man that we love. Bryce Cotton, welcome in. Congratulations on that win, a massive one for you guys. How did that one feel for you? We watched Nick Rakocevic absolutely go to work. A nice one for him.
Yeah, it was great. We wanted to come out and handle business from the start. Cairns did a good job playing pretty physical with us, but I think we executed our game plan tonight for almost a full 40 minutes.
Bryce, good dub, man. Talk to us, man. What's it like when you can see teams are trying to isolate you, they're trying to post you up, and you guys are kind of putting yourselves in rotations? What's the mindset like for all the little guards out there, man?
Fight. You know what I mean? You got to fight. It's not our first time being picked on the court, so I'm well-versed in that area. But at the end of the day, that was a great team effort having my back as well.
BC, another big game coming up on Sunday, Chapter 3 against Perth. But I want to talk about tomorrow. Christmas Day in the Cotton household. What's it look like for you now that you're Australian? And what did it look like growing up? Is there some similarities that you bring across?
Nah, it's completely different. I live a different life now than I did growing up. But apparently I got some SpongeBob pajamas, so I'm going to be rocking them in the morning.
What did you think of Nick Rakocevic's dunk as well? We didn't get the replay of your reaction. We got Zylan Cheatham, Flynn Cameron, DJ Vasiljevic. He said to us just before, he said, I've got some bunnies. I didn't know he had them like that.
Listen, I had the best seat in the house. I was right behind him, and it looked like a play straight off of 2K. But, yeah, we got to go in the locker room and play that one back.
Bryce, we absolutely love what you guys are doing. Do you feel like there's been some massive improvement from you guys post the FIBA break? You're 3 games clear on top now. I feel like the improvements just keep coming for the 36ers.
Yeah, I mean, we've done pretty well, I think, since FIBA break. But at the end of the day, Mike's, what do you call it, mantra for us is Kaizen, which means continuous improvement. So no matter how much we improve, you know, we want to keep going higher and higher and push that ceiling further.
Well, we love what you're doing. We love what the 36ers are doing. And please say a Merry Christmas to your beautiful family and also to you as well. Thanks so much for your time.
I appreciate y'all.
Bryce Cotton, a massive game for the Adelaide 36ers, and he leads from the front. 11 assists. He's been averaging just over 7 assists per game, and he absolutely clocked that tonight.
The game is slowed down for Bryce. It's been slow for him for a long, long time, but especially this season. Coming into a new team, watching them evolve game by game, he's still every bit as having a lot of heavy lifting to do, but he's now doing it with another group of guys that are learning how to play with him. They are looking extremely dangerous, and that is their bench peak. They're very high octane coming off the bench today. They was very special, so they should be feeling real good about themselves.
And again, give him a whole lot of credit because they tried to get after him, and it didn't matter because he said, you know what, I'll be happy with 22 points because I'll fill it up with 11 assists. He's just super unselfish, cares about the win.
Well, a man who has had arguably his best season of his career is Isaac Humphries, and he joins us now. Isaac, you're one of our favourite interviews. Thanks for joining us post-game. We've asked the other guys how this one feels, but you talk a lot about the culture. What does a win like this do for the confidence of this team?
Yeah, good. You know, like top of the ladder versus bottom of the ladder, you got to sort of, it's one that you got to win. And in this league, you can always lose to any team at this point. So the fact that we came out and, you know, really handled our business, guys absolutely stepped up and had a great games. And, you know, we pride ourselves on our culture. Culture is real, and we pride ourselves on our culture. A culture that we've established just this year, and you guys are seeing the fruits of that. Everyone's stepping up, team wins, team environment. It's not just one guy. So, yeah.
Firstly, Merry Christmas. I hope you have a great day tomorrow. You mentioned just then you're playing against the 10th team. Anyone can beat anybody. The human side of it, the human nature, it's inevitable. You're playing them. You saw it with the Hawks with some big outs. There's a little seed of, okay, we can go out there, we're the top team, we're rolling, we should get it done. But it didn't come about the way you would have wanted in Illawarra, but it didn't look like you came out with that same mindset at all in this one.
Yeah, you know, in my post-game interview against Illawarra, I said there's lots to learn in that game, and we definitely went away and learned that exact thing. So anyone can come out on any given night and give you the business. So I guess you got to, everywhere the team everyone wants to beat, that's just literally what it is. So you got to come out and respect everybody. And we definitely learned from the Illawarra situation. And that's kind of the result of that. So,
Ice, good game, man. Talk to me about the two-headed monster, you and Big Rick Kosovic. Sometimes you guys sub for each other, but you also play together a lot. That was good to see.
Yeah, I think it's situational, how the game's going, you know, fouls, all that sort of thing. He was going tonight. I was more than happy to sit and watch him absolutely go to work. That was great. And then when we're out there together, it's awesome. So I think we all just love playing basketball with each other. It's fantastic. He's really stepping up the last few games, and, you know, to have a center sitting on the bench, you know, starting on the bench, that comes out and does that is pretty good weapon, if you ask me. So,
Isaac, 36ers basketball is very fun to watch right now. You won all 4 quarters. Is there a little thought in your mind about the 400K with the Ignite Cup? Are you thinking about it at all?
I don't think I am personally, but that doesn't say anything. I think some of the boys are. It's definitely on the board. It's on the mind, but. I'm not one to think about that, so probably the wrong person to ask.
No, we love it. We love it. Thanks so much for your time, Ice. An amazing game. Go and enjoy this win. And Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, guys. Cheers.
Isaac Humphries, a huge season for him so far. He only played the 21 minutes. He shared that time with Nick Rakocevic, but he has such a big impact in that 20 minutes as well, Damon.
This is the beauty of having depth like this. They don't have to ever go small ball fire with Zylan Cheatham unless it's an absolute emergency like we saw them do in Perth. Ice is playing real good basketball because the environment, like you said, and the culture is finally stable. So everybody's happy right now, so it's just good to see him flourish.
And they're just trying to figure out the combinations. And again, I think they use games like this because if you get to a semi-final or a championship series against a team like Sydney, who you've had some struggles against, can you go big and negate what they're doing going small? So a lot of things that Mike Wells is doing now could pay off in the long run.
And just clock the little jab at Derek Rucker, who said that culture doesn't exist. Isaac Humphries had a little bit to say back there. I love it. Adelaide 36ers definitely believe in theirs. Take a look at Bryce Cotton and his little girl. Merry Christmas to all of those Adelaide 36ers fans who just watched them dismantle the Cairns Taipans by 20 points. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more after this. Adelaide 36ers absolutely monster the Cairns Taipans, a 20-point win in the Ignite Cup game this Wednesday night. It's Christmas Eve. Pete Hawley off screen right now has a Santa hat on. I promised people that you would put it on, so I'm happy that you've got it. Let's take a look at the full game stats. Anything jump out to you, Damon?
No, not really. I mean, it was pretty standard process and for Adelaide 36. They shot the ball well from 3, 10 to 27. They got to the free throw line enough, took care of the turnovers. Under double figures is always good. Like you said, they just did what they had to do. It's one of those games, if they blow them out, everybody says that's what they were supposed to do. If they lose and it's close, or if they win and it's close, it's like, oh, what's wrong with Adelaide? They did what they needed to do. Nice 20-point win.
All those stats outside the field goals it made and attempted are almost identical. It was a 20-point game. They just had 11 more shots and they hit all of them. So there's the difference. They've got to get more shots up in the offensive end. And you see the Ignite Cup, Adelaide rocket up to second with a game in hand. They play the Brisbane Bullets as well. So the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix, I know they're bottom.
The surge in Brisbane Bullets.
It could come down to Southeast Melbourne and New Zealand. They play each other right towards the end of the Ignite Cup calendar. Thank you very much.
I wanted Isaac Humphries to name and shame who's thinking about the 400K. I absolutely love that some of them are, but Adelaide are sitting second on the ladder. Let's take a look at the Mitsubishi Motors NBL26 ladder. 36ers sit 3 games clear on top. Phoenix have jumped ahead of United. They are in second, and United, can they drop any more?
They absolutely can. I feel like the wheels are just extremely wobbly. I don't even know if the car's roadworthy anymore, Pete. They're struggling. And, like, what's the problem? Somebody's got to say something. I would love to hear one of the leaders come out and give us something to work with. But, yeah, it is not the same team that started off the season, clearly.
Well, where do they go from here? They've had leadership meetings. Dean Bickerman's had a meeting. They've had time off. Melbourne United, I'm interested to see if they can turn it
You know
around.
what can help them is going on the road when they do in January. When you're on the roads the entire time, you can be galvanised with each other, spend a lot of time. That could be coming at a really, really good time for them.
Well, we've finished Christmas Eve hoops here, but we've got a massive Christmas Day game. Damon Lowry's Illawarra Hawks take on the Sydney Kings, who are absolutely rolling down the road. You talk about a moving car. Sydney Kings are on an F1 car at the moment. 8:30 p.m. is the tip-off time. Make sure you enjoy your Christmas dinner and then tune in to the Hungry Jacks NBL for a massive Christmas Day game. Here's the rest of round 14. Any of those jump out for you, Pete?
Well, the teams, all the elite teams with double headers. That's what really sticks out for me. Multiple teams playing 2 games, which is going to be fantastic to see those teams in action.
I'm a little bit nervous for Damon Lowry and his super coach. He had 5 Adelaide 36ers. Don't go anywhere across the rest of this week. We've got plenty of Christmas action. Christmas hoops tomorrow. From behalf of all of us here at the Hungry Jacks NBL, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Please enjoy it with your family. All the very best and enjoy your time.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.
Back down to an opponent.